But like in theory, if someone were a billionaire and they had like all this money, why wouldn't they just buy more of the thing they liked instead of dumping the thing they liked? Like if Bezos bought shares in Amazon, would you be pissed off? If Apple does a stock buyback and they buy more of their own shares in their company back from the public, which is a way to turn earnings into yield for the shareholders, do you get mad and yell at Apple? And so we had to come up with a word for this fan fiction fantasy, which is the opposite of a rug pull, called a magic carpet ride. And so if you're worried about risk of a rug pull, what weighted value have you given the risk of a magic carpet ride? And it's just hilarious to me.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another awesome day. A Pulsechain and HEX Millionaires. That's the title of the video, and of course we're going to be looking at some price calls today from Ben Armstrong, aka formerly BitBoy, maybe in the future BitBoy again. We'll see. We're obviously going to look at another look at Hexologist's price prediction in comparison to that. So we're going to be talking about Pulsechain HEX Millionaires, all the big X's. It's going to be a fun show. We're going to do a huge update on Jacob's ecosystem protocols. That is a Pulsepot, BNB pot, TYZZ, TYRH, and PUSD Algo, which I really am looking forward to. A lot of those are going to be absolutely epic. Pulsepot is crushing it right now. We're going to check out all that, and that is going to be care of Jacob's ecosystem. That's what we're covering. Care of, Archie, who's one of our moderators who gave us some pretty good notes on that. So we're going to go through some of those. Big shout out to Archie in the house. All right, so it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll probably clip that section out later on and repost that later today. So once it uploads, hopefully. And we're going to get into all the market prices. So it's going to be a lot of fun as usual. Let's get into it. Who else has jumped in here? Lies beneath. Hello, how are you today? Very good. Hex, EHEX, PLS, PLSX, incentive for the win. 100% the golden crypto strategy of this channel. And of course, founded by Richard Hart and his awesome teams. Who else is Brian? Our community leaders in the house here, nice and early. Good to see you, Brian. What's up, folks? We got Hex Go Yo in the house. Let's go. Feeling great today. You should feel great today. It's super sunny outside, by the way. It is amazing in New Zealand. Stand proud. Looking good there. We finally got a good government back in play. Not expecting perfection, but definitely, man, it is so good to have a good government in place, doing some good stuff generally across the board. Man, it is so good. We've just come out of having socialists do terrible things, so it's so good to be having a proper government that's doing the right things. So kind of cool. We got Archie in the house. A special shout out to Archie. We're going to be going through some of Archie's notes, as I said earlier, on Jacob's ecosystem. It's going to be pretty cool. Crypto Dan, hey guys, hope everybody is good. Hey, what's good? What's cooking here live in Memphis? I don't know what that's all about. Tintop's in the house there. What's up? Tintop. Did you hear me? What's up, Tintop? Good to see you, Tintop. Welcome to the chat as well. We got Paul C as well. How many subscribers when Pulsechain does 100x? Yeah, boy. I like that. All right, let's go. Should we get into it? Or we got a few new people in the chat there. If you're watching, get into the chat, make it lively. And that's what it's all about, man. That's what YouTube's all about. Smash the likes, says Crypto Dan. Definitely smash the likes on the way in. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell as well for future videos. Obviously, we're covering Pulsechain's journey pretty much exclusively on this channel, virtually every day. So get on here if you like to get all the project updates. We're waiting for a ton of those to launch, and it's going to be so much fun. All right, so we're going to go through 4 or 5 of those today, so it's going to be fun too. All right, let's get into it. Let us go. Bam, bam, bam. We're going to start off with stock market as usual. Let's kick it off. Now, stock market's been rallying to all-time highs on all the indexes as we've been covering, but today it pulled back. So there we are, pulled back from the highs due to the inflation report not being as friendly as possible. So Dow is in the biggest loss since March as hot inflation rattles the bulls. And we can see here the Dow Jones down 1.35%, 524 points to 38,272. And if you look on the max chart, I mean, we only just hit the all-time high there, so we've just come off there. And the S&P 500 is down 1.37%, almost 69 points to 4,953. and we had only just got over 5,000 for the first time, right? So that's the S&P 500. NASDAQ, with all the tech companies in it, is down 1.8%, 287 points almost, to 15,655. So that is where the chart's looking at the moment. The risk index, so the volatility index for the S&P 500, the VIX as they call it, is up a 13.8%, up 1.92 points to 15.85. That's a pretty big move there. The dollar has also got up, gained strength there, up 0.7% to 104.76. So looking pretty strong there as the US dollar was risk off, right? Risk off. Now going to the commodities, we've got West Texas at $77.92. That is up, I think, $1 based on that. Brent oil there is $82.76, up 76 cents. Gold is sitting at $2,004, so that is down. And of course, silver there is at $22.13 as well, down also 2.8%. So what caused all the fuss? Well, the inflation data. Inflation comes in hot to cool the Fed rate cut optimism, pushing Treasury yields higher. Headline annual inflation for the United States slowed to 3.1% in January from 3.4% a month earlier, but was still above economist estimates of 2.9. So even though it was an improvement from 3.4 to 3.1, it wasn't below, or at least at the economist expectation of a 2.9. So that's the markets overreact, right? Look how they do. Sell off at the end of the world. Core inflation, which the Fed watches closely as it strips out the volatile items like food and fuel, it remained at the same annual pace of 3.9% posted in December, but was expected to slow to 3.7%. So that was missed expectations as well. So therefore, Treasury yields jumped, with the 2-year Treasury yield rising 18 basis points to 4.654%. That's pretty high, with the yield on the 10-year Treasury surging 14 basis points to 4.3% there as well. So crazy. The hotter inflation report was driven by the lumpy shelter rent component, adding that broader signs of a real acceleration of inflation pressures. So lumpy shelter and rent component, a big driver there. As well as strong labor market are reinforcing the risk that the Fed won't need or be able to pivot to interest rate cuts as quickly or as aggressively as previously expected. So the market has recalibrated its expectations. So with the market rate cut all but priced out, this is talking about March, investors cut their bets on a May rate cut to 31% from nearly 50%. So even May is now people not expecting as much a rate cut in May. According to investors.com Federal Rate Monitor there, which we always check out. So let's go check it out before we move on to crypto. Let's go to the tool and the rate monitor there. As you guys know, I've been picking June. So June's still in play there. 5 weeks to go until the Fed meeting. And what else there? We've got, March, 93% expecting a no change. So don't expect a change. Only 7% on the market expecting a change in March. So not likely. We've still got 63% of the market is now, so that's gone back, right? So even more, it used to be majority that people were expecting a pivot in May, but not today. 63.6% expecting a no change. So that's the majority. June is, however, is still looking like the most of the market, 71% is expecting a pivot in June. And as you guys know, that's kind of where I felt like it was going to be June, given this data that is even more likely now. Let's have a look at July's meeting for the Fed. We've got 90% almost expecting a pivot in July. So there we go. It's being pushed back a bit on the old interest rate cuts. You know what this means too, right? It's probably going to be even more severe, the impact, because it's always lagged, right? Always lagged the impact of interest rates. And so it's going to be more severe, maybe entering potentially recession at the end of this year, early next year. That is possible, given the way this is going at the moment. All right, let's move on into crypto. Crypto responded to after really rallying quite strongly over 50K. We got Bitcoin there at $49,622. That is down 0.7%. Bitcoin dominance still strong, though, 51.36%. Ethereum there is down almost 0.5% at 2,639, but still looking very good as well. What else is looking interesting? Solana standing out a little bit there. What else there? Tau is up a bit there. SDX. That's a few there. Litecoin is down so the most at the moment. 5.5% is at $69 for Litecoin. That is pretty much it for that. So let's move on into the charts. Have a quick look at the Bitcoin. So Bitcoin here, we've still got the ultimate flow, right? We've got the Goldilocks flow of information for crypto. It is so good. And at the moment, we've had a range of today of 48,300 for Bitcoin on the low, a high of 50,423 on the high, and we're currently almost in the middle, 49,580 at the moment on this candle. We've had a pretty stellar run here though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green days, and just a bit of a breather at the moment. But man, this chart is looking so good. Now, as you guys know, just a quick summary of what's looking forward. We've pretty much got a Bitcoin halving coming up on the 17th of April. So that's super bullish. How many days away is that? We're going to count down the 63 days. So we're almost down to 2 months away from the Bitcoin halving. So that is exciting. And money is flowing, right? Money is flowing through the ETFs. So good news there. What else there? We've got Ethereum coming up. Ethereum here as well has had a hyper rally yesterday. So far today, we've had a low of $2,590, a high of $2,687. And we're currently about in the middle as well, $2,634 at the moment on the old Ethereum. Now, we have bullish news for Ethereum, of course. We've got the Deacon upgrade on mainnet. This is proto-dank sharding and blobs and super cheap layer 2s on Arbitrum and Optimism. They're your 2 leverage plays on Ethereum's upgrade. For the Deacon upgrade, that is on the 30th of March. So that is ticking away. That's going to be less than a month away now. What are we out there? 28 days. So ticking away, folks. Woo! 28 days. Was that 4 weeks straight? So ticking, tick tock. Looking good as the old Ethereum. And then, of course, on the 23rd of May, we're expecting the Ethereum ETF approvals. I think we've got 8 now, if I remember rightly. So we've had another new entrance into the ETFs. We might do an update on that soon. But that is coming up as well. So looking good is that. Let me just go back to this. And how many days to the 23rd of May? We've got 99 days. 99 bottles of beer on the wall. 99 bottles of beer. There we go. We're chasing it down. 99 days. We're under 100 days away from the Ethereum ETFs. Now, not as high a probability of approval like the Bitcoin ones, which we had at 90%, but certainly feeling very optimistic about that, especially after the success of Bitcoin ETFs as well. So that's pretty much it. So if you think about it, we've got the Ethereum upgrade 13th of March. Then we've got the Bitcoin halving the 17th of April. And then we've got Ethereum ETFs by the 22nd of May. And looks like now we got things pushing back, haven't we? Things pushing, let me get out of that. Things pushing back for the interest rate pivot, which is looking like June at the earliest at the moment. So June at the earliest, unless we get some surprise data and change, June is looking like that. So we've got 4 things in a row, which are bullish potentially for crypto. Game on, right? Game on. And who knows, in the second half of next year, maybe we get monetary expansion and we've got the US elections. And if we get the right outcome for that, maybe we'll have quite an elongated bull market. There we go. That is pretty much it on Ethereum. Now, this doesn't take into any black swan events, like Taiwan or like the stock market doing a major correction, 30-40%, for example, doesn't take into account those 2 major things. But apart from that, it's for crypto, this is about as good as it gets for a news flow lineup. It is absolutely awesome. And of course, we start off in January the 10th there with the Bitcoin ETFs, which, have been pretty good, starting to ramp up now too. All right, so let's move on. We've also got the Chinese New Year, right? That's a very bullish period. We're currently in that at the moment. That started on the 10th, and we're currently on the 14th. So certainly bullish environment at the moment, short term as well. All right, let's jump over to the Pulse Chain, Pulse Gains, day 277. Pretty cool. We actually had some stuff from Richard out there as well on Sci-Vive, his Sci-Vive book, so you can check that out on Richard Hart's posting flow. So Pulse Chain at the moment, we've got 000142 down 1.8% at the moment. We've got Pulsex at the moment, quadruple 0573 down 5.3%. We've got incentive token down 5% at the moment, and the ratio of incentive to Pulse is 22,000. We've got Hex at the moment, PHEX at 1.76 cents down 2.3%, and EHEX at 1 cent exactly. And of course, the combined price of EHEX, PHEX looking very good indeed, 2.76 cents. Now, on these little pullbacks, you can decide where you're going to DCA and keep accumulating, but it's still very early days from my perspective for the bull run and for Pulse Chain in particular. So still very cheap assets to be picked up for sure. Pulsex, for example, still under the mean sacrifice price. Only 57% of sacrifice price are still well under that. And we've got bullish news coming up expected for Power City Earn Protocol once the Fetch Oracle rallies up. And we got news on the Fetch Oracle, so stay tuned for that. That's coming up with our Pulse Pot update. So that's looking pretty good for day 277. Nice little reprieve, nice little chance to pick up a bit more volume. Let's get into the charts. So here we are on Pulsechain, 00014. You can see the charts looking very healthy indeed. The RSI just taking a bit of a breather, just to touch the overbought territory. And of course, taking a bit of breather here at 65. So it's good news. It's nice to have a little breather before we pop up for super hype. You let the RSI cool off a bit there, but we do have still a very bullish MACD. Maybe we'll go back into that full-on overbought territory and move up to like 83, 84, something like that. Maybe the next couple of days we'll see how we get on. Depends maybe how the news flow goes in overnight for the US. But that is Pulsechain. Let's go to PulseX. PulseX at the moment, obviously on a bit of a bigger pullback. We had a high of quadruple 063. We're currently at quadruple 057, so that's quite a range down there. So you're definitely be able to pick up a lot more. I'll probably be picking up some Pulsex today. So that is kind of cool. And the RSI cooling off there at 63. We did get up just over 70, 71, say. We're down at 64 there, just cooling off for Pulsex. Like I say, can't wait for Power CDM protocol. It's going to be a major protocol for Pulsechain and, of course, Pulsex in particular. Taking a lot of Pulsex off the market and issuing potentially tens of millions of dollars of PXD stablecoin, our third stablecoin on Pulsechain. It's going to be pretty badass, that's all I can say. We've got incentive token there at the moment, $3.12. The ratio to Pulse at the moment on incentive token is 22,000. You guys know we're in this range at the moment, aren't we? A lot of resistance at 24,000. But man, this has really been the star of the day. Is the old incentive. You benefit from the Pulse price rallying. You benefit from the ratio going up as well. And who knows what new flows we could get in the future for the Pulsex and the DAO and everything else like that. So that is incentive token. That brings us to PHEX. PX looking pretty good. Also, we've got a bullish cross on the EMA that is playing out. We've pretty much had a range of 1.886 cents, so almost 1.9 cents on HEX. Looking pretty good. You guys know we're hunting that breakout. We're hunting that breakout for HEX, and HEX has got the most room in the RSI too. We're back down to 1.75 cents at the moment. Let's have a look at the RSI down at 58, looking good. A lot more room than even Pulse and Pulsex. Looking pretty good there. And the MACD has turned bullish, but once again, we'll see. It may fake out, but still looking, I think, far more positive for a breakup to the upside. So we'll see how we get on there at the moment. But we are hunting that combined price breakout of 3 cents. At the moment, EHEX holding up really well in my view. We got up to 1.1 cents almost. We're at 1 cent at the moment on this. We also got a bullish EMA cross there, and the RSI is pretty chill down at 62. So maybe we'll just cool off here, but move sideways, zigzag a bit, and then it's power wave. They both look like they're up against resistance, and if they can break that, man, game on for EHEX and PX, as you guys know. Let's go to InvestX, have a quick look at that before we move back to the main charts, because we're going to look at the combined price of EHEX and PHEX. Now, they've done a really cool here on InvestX.io. It's the #1 workstation on Pulsechain. And, of course, you can see EHEX on the left here and PHEX on the right. But there's a combined chart below, and that's what we're going to hit here to see the combined chart of EHEX and PHEX here. This is InvestX.io. InvestX.io, if you want to check this out. Very cool site. I love it. It's really graphical and everything else. And it's got a good data set as well. It's also got multiple tools, utility tools you can use to manage your portfolio and all sorts of stuff like that. So definitely check it out. So here we are on the daily. We're going to pull that up. Here we go. So we're at 2.76 cents. We've had a high of about 2.9 cents, and we're getting so close to really try to break out of this 3 cent range. Once we do, it's off to the races, right? And that brings us in with some bullish price predictions. You guys ready for that? I think you guys are ready for price predictions there. Let's get into it. So this is a price prediction from Ben Armstrong, obviously formerly BitBoy, the biggest crypto influencer on the planet at the time. I think they got over 2 million subscribers. I don't know how many views they get now since Ben Armstrong's left, but I haven't heard it's that great. So I don't know. You guys decide. Let us know in the chat there. But Ben Armstrong here has got a prediction. This is a prediction for EHEX. So HEX on Ethereum, not on for HEX on Pulsechain, so not PHEX, just EHEX. He's going to do a separate price prediction for HEX on Pulsechain, or PHEX as we call it. So let's check it out from Ben Armstrong here. Now, you can agree or not agree with his assumptions and his expectations, so you decide, but here we go.
EX price in this video. I'll say that for another day. This is only EX. In the most bearish case, I see HEX priced at 10 cents, with a market cap of $17.34 billion. This is what HEX holders will be looking at if Richard faces major fines and the SEC is able to force him into a settlement where he has to admit that HEX is a security. I don't see it happening. The community would still keep the project alive if this were to happen, but the heyday of HEX would be over. If the SEC ends up dropping their case against Richard, as the agency loses relevance in crypto regulation, I can see the most bullish scenario playing out, where HEX hits a new all-time high of $1 with a market cap of $173 billion. In this possible scenario, HEX officially becomes one of the projects to be regulated under the new crypto asset classification, which are recognized to not be traditional securities. Now, for what I think is actually going to happen, the most likely scenario, I think the SEC case will go slowly during the bull run, because we all know how slow the gears of government grind. This won't be great for Richard, though, because Richard Heart is rich, but he doesn't have the same level of wealth and backing that Ripple had. Now, of course, at this point, they still haven't even been able to serve Richard, so maybe the case doesn't even happen. I also think, though, the Pulsechain is taking some of the steam away from HEX, and it also has a better chance of surviving through the battle against the SEC, because even though both projects are mentioned in the case, Pulsechain is its own network, and it's a lot more than just an investment. I certainly don't think HEX is going anywhere, but I also don't see it hitting its previous all-time highs during the cycle unless there's a massive win in court. Realistically, I see HEX reaching half of its previous all-time high of just over 50 cents. That puts my price prediction at about 25 cents with a market cap of $46.8 billion, still more than 25x from where we are now, and definitely not as crazy as the last cycle.
So that is Ben Armstrong's prediction for, or at least three scenarios, price predictions for 24-25. So we had 10 cents on the bearish side, we had $1 on the bullish side, and we had, what was it, 25 cents there on the, I guess, the mid-range prediction there. So you let us know. You made certain assumptions about the SEC and treatment of security, Richard Hart's success and all sorts of stuff. So that's his one. But let's have a look at Hexos. Hex obviously is a full-on Hexkin who, was the superstar on DLive for a long period of time. And of course, let's hear his price prediction as well in contrast. So let's see what he thinks.
Prediction, June 2025. Dude, I think PHEX,
so just remember, this is PHEX, not EHEX like Ben Armstrong, but it's pretty cool. You can decide the comparison there.
PHEX does a 300 or 400x this bull run, dude. 300 or 400x, $3 to $4 possibly. Why not? Sure. No financial advice. Don't take that as anything, but yeah, why not? 300 or 400. But dude, guys, this is
so $3 or $4 for PHEX. If you're given the current ratio, that's probably $1, $2 for EX. As a quick reference,
this is going to be huge. The second pump or the second bull run is going to be huge for HEX, because look at all the stuff we have behind it. Look how much, look how many people are now coming into the HEX ecosystem or the RH ecosystem and coming in and wanting to be part of it, right? They want to be part of it. We got BitBoy. We got big influencers now talking about it. And when it starts to run, you don't think that these guys are going to try to jump on board. They're going to try to catch some of the wave. They're going to hop on board, guys. We don't have the scam ties as much. And the biggest thing, what happens when Richard Hart defeats the SEC, and then, just think about the price then. What do you think the price is going to just do once the SEC gets just eviscerated in court? Boom, right? And then he starts implementing cool new tech into Pulse X, like single-sided staking or, whatever else, new farms and all this other stuff. What happens? Like, do you not think that these things are all just going to be like, holy smokes, this ecosystem is awesome? Hexo, are you saying we should all get lives and go do stuff? Well, you should have been doing that while the bear run was happening. Now that the bull run is here, you've lost your life. Now you're going to have to actually come out and work, right? Like, bull run is when we all should start working. This is when we got to get the word out, especially right now, right before the bull run. Get people in, get people excited, get people, pumped up for what's about to come. The people that are like, yeah, maybe $1 hex. You're lame. You're lame. $1 hex, that's lame. What is that, like a 50x from here? Stop being lame. Who wants a 50x in crypto? That's the lamest thing I've ever heard in my life. 50x? Pfft.
Well, there we are. I mean, you could argue that. I mean, Ben Armstrong's price call just came out, the upside of $1. So Hexo doesn't think much of that. But there we go. Two different price expectations there. Are pretty fun. Tim Dot says, boom. Yeah, boom, boom, chaka-laka-loom, boom, boom. Rocket to the moon. We got Bra in the house. Good to see you, Bra. Welcome to the chat there. And who I saw a comment back up here further. Paul C. A big shout out, streaming through thick and thin. Yeah, absolutely, Paul C. Been doing that for sure. Who else has jumped in here? Sandy Beach, an influence in the space, has got what do you got there? You've got your post for today. So Sandy Beach has been doing health and safety with our press up challenge, which has been amazing. We've had a lot of people in our Discord get involved with that. So there it is there from Sandy Beach, today's update. And yeah, day 13 of the push up challenge. Get into it if you want to get into that one. You can always start at day 1, of course, and catch up. There we go. All right, that is looking pretty good. So Hex at the moment, 2.76 cents. Man, when it breaks this 3 cent line, this is this line up here, and it actually breaks apart and maybe comes to retest or just goes to the moon. It's going to be pretty fun. It's going to open up, that 4 to 8 cent range for sure. 5 to 7 cent range seems like a pretty good target. But of course, that is coming up. Once it runs, man, it's going to be hard to, catch me if you can. Catch me if you can. The old Hex there looking pretty good, and I'm loving it. All right, loving it, he says. All right, so let's get into it. That is day 277. Let's get into the validators and have a look at how they're performing. We've got 52,795 validators on the old Pulse chain. Pretty much 1.69 trillion has been staked with validators off the market, which is about 10.5%, something like that. So that's pretty cool. Let's have a look at the gas prices. Gas prices, although on the high side today, 586,000 beats. Normally, we expect around 200,000. It's 586,000 beats at the moment. So I've got a higher price for a Pulsex swap. Man, it's getting expensive on there. 0.3 of a penny for a Pulsex swap at the moment. Man, we've got to find a new chain. It's Fork Pulse chain. It's 3 cents now for a Pulsex transfer. We got two for a Pulsex swap. We got 0.2 of a penny for a Pulsecoin transfer and half a penny for a PRC20 transfer. Come on, Richard. Let's fork the Pulse chain. We're 730 times cheaper than Ethereum at the moment. $22 almost to do a swap on Ethereum. So 3 cents compared to $22. I think that's still very, very good value. And we're 1,362 times cheaper than Bitcoin at the moment, $2.38 to transfer Bitcoin. So that is that. Did I just create some fake drama? I don't know. Maybe I did. Let's have a look at the bridge. Hashtag no drama channel. We're up to 138, almost $139 million on bridge over the Pulse chain. This is fantastic. That's almost like around 60, 65, maybe even $70 million more than what we had before. We had this rally, so things are really just cooking on the old Pulse chain. Now, some things I didn't think about in those price predictions was the war chest, and Richard Hart is on the battlefield. Yeah, it's definitely the upside for Pulse chain and Hex, and making millionaires is huge, which is kind of the title of the video. So pretty cool. And that is looking fine and dandy. The other cool thing is from the supply side. So that's the demand side, that bridge, that's the demand side stuff. But from the supply side, we've got $415 million of PLS currently locked, almost 3 trillion. So, you've got 16 trillion, it's like 3 trillion almost locked off the market. It's pretty amazing. Liquid loans is at 1.16 trillion, which is pretty incredible. So a huge amount is locked off the market. I think it's like 8.5% or something like that. So pretty awesome. All right, let's get that. Is it for day 277. We're going to be starting day 288, of course. And there we go. So we're getting into some of the other price categories quickly because we've got a big update on Jacob's ecosystem today. So we're starting that in about probably 5 minutes. Let's get into the charts though quickly. We're going to go through our second category, which is top PRC20s. Let's have a look at that. Everything's pretty much cooling off today. PDI is at 0.02400. What else is interesting there? Everything else is pretty cooled off with this little pullback that we're on at the moment. We had quite a strong rally, so we're just going to leave that there. Let's go to the meme coins. That's our third category. Everything's pretty cool on here as well. Trump, someone had that in the chat there. 37%. Trump has been rallying. We have been covering that. We do generally cover just about everything. Someone up here was talking about Trump token. We have commented on that in the last couple of days. Where's that comment? I know it was here somewhere. That one there. Ivan there is talking about that. Have you been following Trump? Seems like it's doing massive liquidity bonding to the Atropic ecosystem. Bullish or bearish? Well, it's obviously bullish given the way it's looking today, but it has been bearish on the way down. So good pump today. So there is a little bit of a mention there, Ivan. We'll be following it. What else is? It is on my list after all. So that's it. That's pretty much it out of those. Let's get into the main event, category number 4, Pulsechain projects. Let's see what's going on there. Everything's pretty, I'm sorting by liquidity, right? So we've got the biggest liquidity at the top there. So that's what's going by liquidity pairs. Let's see what's doing well here. Mintra, one of the 6 NFT marketplaces, is up 11%. Now, I don't know if you guys saw it. I didn't pull it up today, but Power City's boasting, and they're boasting about their Pixel Park. And that's going to be the number 7 NFT marketplace launching on Pulsechain. And they're talking about having some secret sauce that's going to make them stand head and shoulders above all the other NFT marketplaces. So we're looking forward to Pixel Park. We love it when teams get, what do you call it, get alpha male, let's say, I don't know. But anyway, we're up to 11% on Mintra, so they're doing pretty well today on the upside with everything else down. GOAT DGM Protocol. So if you want to become a validator, but you haven't got 32 million pulse, then DGM Protocol is something to look at for. I would check up on David Feder on YouTube. He's the number 1 validator provider on Pulsechain. It's something like 55% of all validated machines have gone through David Feder. And GOAT token is the token for that NFT validating. And basically 64 NFTs equal about 1 full validator. So you can just take a part of a validator, just picking up those NFTs, right? So that's the way it goes. Pretty cool for the retail book to get into. That's pretty much it. That's kind of the highlights there. What else we've got? Holy, that's right. We're going to talk about this is the Pulsechain projects, but we're going to have a little zoom in on currently the TRH ecosystem from Jacob, because that's really what we're going to be focusing on today in particular. But you can see here, just for the TRH protocol, we've had some big rallies in Holy and Seed. These are the real ones that we're expecting to be get emitted in TRH v4 coming up. And they've had a big rally, 50% and 23% on Holy and Seed today. Low liquidity, $2,100, $600. So very low liquidity, but they've had a nice little pump there in this game. Now, the main liquidity, of course, is sitting in TRH, which is the main token for the game. It's $271,000 liquidity, and in Plant and Water have 29 and 15K liquidity respectively. Now, in terms of the Pulsechain project for PulsePot, which is out at the moment, PLSP, let's have a quick look at that. That chart is still looking spectacular, and $6.07 at the moment. So this chart for PulsePot looking like a boss, which leads us into this big update that we're going to be doing for Jacob's ecosystem. So stay tuned for this. Now, Jacob's ecosystem is pretty much probably the most innovative DeFi on Pulsechain, and he's got multiple protocols coming. He really is delivering. Obviously, they had that severe issue around coding for TRH v3 with the staking, but they've moved on from that. They've tried to compensate for that, and they're moving on to bigger, brighter things. That's all you can do, really. And he has been with PulsePot launch has been spectacular. So things are back on track for Jacob's ecosystem. Very, very cool. And of course, you get to participate in the most innovative DeFi on Pulsechain and on the planet in DeFi. So it was really, really exciting. We're going to talk about that today. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to start in a minute or two. Let's see who else has jumped in here. Hashtag Freedom Channel, family channel, no drum channel. That's what we try to do and live by. I think we do a pretty good job of it. Check My Pulse says, I love it when the herd goes low, cause the market always goes the opposite, says Check My Pulse. We got DBZ and Hussey. Let's go Pulsechain and let's go Trump. Please restore the markets. Yeah, another one in there for the Trump token there. Nice to see. What else there? Let's jump through some of those. We got Sandy Beach there. Happy Mardi Gras, everybody. Yeah, I've always wanted to go to. Is that in New Orleans, the Mardi Gras? I would love to go to that. That looks like a bit of fun. Barring, any of the lefty crap. Who wants to have that stuff. And thank you, Chick Mix, for trying. Yeah, good one. All right, let's get on there with the main event that we're going to be talking about today, other than Pulsechain and HEX Millionaires. We're going to get into Jacob's ecosystem. Some of these protocols of Jacob's ecosystem could be massive on Pulsechain. I'm very excited, and PulsePot is looking very good. So let me just pull up the screen here. Bam. And let's get into the first one, shall we? PulsePot. All right, PulsePot, you guys know PulsePot there. Now, PulsePot at the moment is the world's first peer-to-peer crypto casino on the blockchain. Now, obviously, Jacob launched this on BNB chain first, BNB pot, but he's made several changes to that, and PulsePot has been on fire since it launched. It has been performing very well, as you guys can see. The chart speaks for itself. $6 has had a high of $7.12 here. Pretty amazing. looking pretty good. And here is the first game that launched, Jackpot, which is up to game, I don't know what game, 11,866 games have been played. That's crazy. And Coin Wars. Remember, this has a big buy and burn with it as well. Coin Wars in here. Let me refresh that. Not sure why it went blank, but Coin Wars and loading there. So that's Coin Wars at the moment. And then there's also Plinko as well that got launched just the other day. Plinko's got launched there too. That's ticking away. He has some really cool stuff if you win and lose on the right-hand side. So he's got really cool gamification. Encourages people to play whether they win or lose. Now, we've got some news coming up here, so let's get into that. Obviously, on the left-hand side, we've got Roulette, Fortune World, Sports, Powerball, Price Calls, Video Slots, and Chain Race. They're all coming up. Remember, this is full DeFi. This is how clever this is. It's got no human in the road, really. It's just between you and the contracts and Oracle price calls. It's really cool. In this case, they don't need oracles at this stage, but they've got these price, the game mechanism is inbuilt. So it's kind of really cool. Let's quickly see what they've got here on the notes. So big shout out to Archie, who's given us this update from Twitter Space the other day. Now, the next game apparently is going to be Chain Race, which is down the bottom here. You can't see the game yet interface, but that's particularly coming up. But we also have had some breaking news that price calls could be coming within the next 10 days as well. So this looks like 2 games there coming up pretty thick and fast. So price calls you can see there as well, and a Chain Race. Now, I know Video Slots is coming up as well. That's going to be really hugely popular, so that'll be fun too. Now, on Pulsepot, they're going to make as many games as possible without the Fetch Oracle. As you can know, Fetch Oracle is holding back a lot of teams from launching a lot of products because they need these Oracle price calls decentralized. But there has been an update from Fetch Oracle. Apparently, Pulsepot has talked to Fetch Oracle, and they recently updated their delivery time, at least for Pulsepot, of the end of Q1. So it's March or the beginning of Q2. So it's April. Previously, it was like 4 to 6 months away, which seems like a long time. This is what's been holding up Power City Earn Protocol as well. So it looks like this is going to be much sooner, like you're talking about 1 or 2 months away. So that's kind of bullish. This could mean the availability of sports betting and price calls, but apparently they may be looking at an alternative for price calls, so that could be up within 10 days. But sports betting for sure with the Fetch Oracle there. Now, one of the I think the admins for the Telegram, Cavill DeFi, has had a private call with Randy Alaski, as you know, who's a big influence in the Pulsechain Hex space. He's got a no permissions Patreon group, which is probably the largest one actually out of everybody. Randy's group has a betting night every Wednesday. So they've been playing betting, and they're going to migrate over to Pulsepot. So they've been using other gaming sites, maybe like Betview or something, but they're over on Pulsepot. Let me know in the chat there if you're a part of that gaming night there with Randy's no permissions Patreon group. Now, once the audits are done and Fetch is available, sports betting, price calls, etc., will launch. So once that Fetch Oracle, and so March, April, so they're going to be launching games before then. They don't require the Oracle, like Chain Race and potentially price calls within the next 10 days. But they've also got all the other big games coming up, the Fetch Oracle, which is sports betting, etc. And we'll see how that goes. Now, delivery of Pulsepot will continue to be iterative, with new games launching approximately every 10 days or so. And video slots apparently are going to be incredible. And I know that's going to be hugely popular. This is all going to be on Pulsechain, folks. Isn't that fantastic? It's going to be all on Pulsechain, the world's first peer-to-peer crypto casino, building out some amazing games that people can play. And it's super fast and super cheap on Pulsechain. And there's some incredible rewards for playing. And also the buy and burn is incredible as well. So it looks amazing on the old Pulsepot there. So kind of cool. Now, let us move to TYCZ, shall we? So looking pretty good. You can actually find a lot of statistics. You can see the buy price there, $6.08 at the moment. You can buy. You can stake on your platform, of course. Your PLSP, you can buy those off the market. As we say, they're $10.60, $6.10 at the moment. And, of course, you can unwrap your reward tokens. You can check out the rewards program as well. And, of course, the burn. How much is burnt so far? Looks like 1.36% of the tokens have been burned so far. Remember, there's only 1 million in tokens in existence, and 13,552 have been burnt so far already. And it's only a couple of weeks old. Look at that, maybe a month old or something. So that is pretty amazing for Pulsepot. So world's first peer-to-peer crypto doing amazing. Now, Jacob obviously loves innovating in DeFi. Super smart guy, got a huge team, multiple teams building multiple protocols. So let's jump over to the next one, and that is TYCZ. So TYCZ, this is definitely going to be launching apparently in Q1. So many of you are sacrificed for this. It's had $1,276,000, which probably includes the referral bonuses. So I don't know, $1 million, let's say, net or something like that. So it's had about $1 million or so net, excluding the referral bonuses. This is obviously finished some time ago, TYCZ, so you can't participate in it now. You'll have to buy on the market if you want to participate early. This is definitely going to be launching Q1 2024. I am very excited about this. So this is expected to launch in March. Apparently, it's 80% complete. One of the features you'll be able to do is you'll be able to run your own centralized exchange. So if you're into that sort of entrepreneurial side, you'll be able to participate in that. Now, originally, the concept that last time I saw it was going to be called DeFi Binance. So we're going to be seeing where this launches on Pulsechain and BNB. We'll wait to see that. Originally, it was BNB, so we'll find out what that's all going to look like. A lot of secrets to come from this one. But apparently, you'll be able to run your own centralized exchange if you want to do that. Isn't that crazy? And of course, normally we operate with AMM pools, decentralized exchanges. You'll have to make sure you have your website up on uptime. You'll also be responsible for token listings and extra extensions. So this will open up a lot of people that maybe they can't build the tech, but they can just use a white label like this and run centralized exchange. So that's just going to be one of the features I understand that will be on TYCZ. So looking very cool. And a March launch, that is super hyper bullish, man. And the fact that PulsePot is running so well, that's going to flow into TYCZ FOMO, and it's going to be very exciting to see that. Now, you guys might be wondering, okay, TYCZ, looking forward to that. I think this could be huge, TYCZ. I'm waiting to see the final product. It's going to be so good. But also TRH V4, right? So TRH V4, we're looking forward to that. Obviously, there was a bit of an issue with some of the coding around staking, and it got compromised by a loophole. But they looked to compensate it, and then of course now they're looking at TYV4, which apparently is going to be very it's going to be looking like almost a different protocol apparently. So we're very bullish on that. And so V4 won't come out until after TYCZ. So we're looking at March for TYCZ. Will be deployed. So it's TRH V4 is coming out after that. So maybe April, but it will be soon after. So we're probably looking at April there, end of Q1, early Q2. So April is probably the target for this. For TRH, I know many of you have been waiting to hear news on this. V4 will have enough significant changes and that it will look like it will be completely different protocol. It won't look like just another version of this. So this is the current V3 version at the moment. And of course, we went through the prices earlier in the chart there. Now, use cases for tokens will be completely changed as well. So whatever, water seed and all these other tokens that are in there. Use cases for tokens will completely change. Tax system will completely change as well. You know how I think there's like a 23% buy tax, 10% sell tax, I think something like that on TRH. That could be dramatically lower. Who knows? We'll find out what it's going to be. Is it going to be like drop from a 23% down to 3%? So picking up some of these tokens now, that's why you might see some of the tokens pumping a little bit. Could be a quite smart move. Wink, wink. It's up to you. Do not financial advice and all that. But hey, look. There's far less TYRH tokens around these days. So let's see where we go. Anyway, so you've been told. OG NFTs will come into play as well. So if you've got some of those OG NFTs, I think you can still buy them on here, right? So you just have to go to NFT marketplace, and there's probably some for sale in here. I don't know, marketplace. I'm not sure why they're not showing up, but you probably be able to buy them, I guess. They're showing up. Oh, yeah, there they are. I guess there's specialty ones too, OG NFTs. I think it must be down the bottom here somewhere. Probably could have just looked with the filter. What type is that? It's been a while since I've been on here. Specials. I think it's specials. Let's take all those off. OG NFTs. Oh, okay. So only G NFTs. Let's keep that on. So this level 1. I guess some of these will be the ones they're looking at. So it looks like you can get some level OG NFTs there. What's the other one? Specialties. Let's look at that. Specials. What are specials again? Mystery one. RH Wallet. Liquidity King. We've got a Easter egg there. That's pretty interesting. And mystery there. All right, I might have a look at some shopping later on after the live stream. We'll see how we go. All right, so they're going to have OG NFTs will come into play big time. So maybe snap up some of those cheap ones that are on the market now, because I'm going to be having a look at the shopping list after the live stream. Holly and Seed will come into play big time. So we've seen that big pump, right? So this is the information came up for Twitter Space yesterday, and we've seen Holly and Seeds pump. We saw that earlier. Very small liquidity on those particular pairs, but you know they're pumped big time. There will be entire sections of V4 that will be completely unavailable without certain tokens or combination of them. So some really smart gameplay in TRH V4. Remember, it is a pure GameFi protocol. So very different from Pulsepot, which is Pulsepot is a GameFi protocol, but it's a peer-to-peer crypto casino. This is kind of I don't know, just a pure GameFi ecosystem. I'm not sure how you describe it, but a bit of a fun game. Additional tokens will likely be added as well, so it's going to be more tokens. TRH will likely have expanded use cases. So like I say, man, you know, the tokens are there to be picked up at the moment. There's a possibility of a DAO which could influence what tokens are burned as well. So that's a question mark over there, or what yield may be paid out and in what form. So the DAO will have a lot of influence potentially if that does occur. And there's likely to still be a version 5 and 6 following April after the V4, which is highly anticipated, a major upgrade to TRH GameFi. And so, yeah, it looks like there's going to be a version 5 and version 6 in the pipeline as well. So the ecosystem will continue to expand and grow. Pretty exciting. So that is a TRH V4 from Jacob, which is pretty cool. The last one, of course, we're going to talk about is PUSD Algo, which you know is my favorite because I think it's going to be potentially massive, potentially the fourth stablecoin on Pulsechain. Obviously, we've talked about CST Coast, which is a fiat on-ramp backed by fiat. We've talked about liquid loans, the biggest protocol outside of PulseX with USDL. And, of course, must be getting pretty close to challenging the valuation of PulseX, to be honest. And that's got USDL stablecoin. And, of course, then we're looking for Power City Earn Protocol, waiting for the Fetch Oracle. That's going to be a PXDC, the stablecoin. Both of the liquid loans and Power City are liquidity forks. So they're backed by stability pools and things like that. But man, I am excited for PUSD Algo, the first algorithmic stablecoin and the first full-on DeFi approach to stablecoin as well. So it could be absolutely massive. Minimum capital raise, maximum upside, and of course, 75% of the sacrifice going to the stability pools and the liquidity pools day one. So you're not wondering where the sacrifice money goes. It goes straight into the protocol. I'm pretty bullish on that. So we've got some updates around that. Let's talk about that. So obviously, it's still in sacrifice phase. We can see there's 415,000, including of the bonuses so far. The target is $1 million. Now, I think if we take out the referral bonus, I think we're up at about like 315,000. So we've still got quite a bit to raise, probably another, I don't know, let's say 700,000. Now, I'm not sure whether Jacob will be participating in that. We sort of saw a hint of that a couple of weeks back when we saw like 150,000 or something jump in there. So question mark over that. But he is super confident, apparently, from the Twitter Spaces. He said he is so confident he will not let it disappear. So he is keen on PUSD Algo to go to market, and he will let it go this year. So probably in the second half of the year. So we've got, what do we got there? Pulsepot, an upgrade for BNB pot there, which I didn't talk about on BNB chain. And, of course, we've also got TYCZ and then a TRH V4 in this first half of this year. And potentially about a second half, maybe the earlier side of the second half. We'll see how it goes. Really depends on the sacrifice, I think. Once that target hit, the audits and hacker program will start. So they're going to be doing that. And then they're going to launch will be 4 to 6 months after the target is hit there. So the sooner the target is hit of that 1 million, the faster we'll get to launch PUSD Algo. It's got to launch in the bull market. It really does. It's, the earlier the better. So hopefully Jacob's thinking about the bull market timing as well, because you don't want to be too late. So important there, and a lot of people have already sacrificed, so they'll be keen on that. It's important to be consistent in the marketing. So there are referral codes for PUSD Algo. You can use the one in the video link if you want to participate today. That's 19% bonus, which is pretty the second highest one there. You do get a second bonus as well if you do over $1,000 inclusive of the referral bonus. But once you get joined up, get your own referral link as well and start sharing it around. The quicker we get to that $1 million target, the quicker it will launch. And remember, 75% of the funds are going straight back in the protocol day one. And of course, you're building on the back of a huge, could be massive stablecoin. Imagine how being early on something like that, it could be amazing for you. Now, that's pretty awesome. Now, I've done 2 videos with Jacob on this channel. You can go check those out. Check it out on Jacob with the 2 there on PUSD Algo. So pretty fun. So anyway, just to wrap up, The next deployment of PulsePot will be either on Arbitrum and Radix. So just a summary there, PulsePot will be, the casino. It's already on BNB chains. It's already on Pulsechain. The next one for those who sacrifice for that, it's either going to be Arbitrum or Radix. I hope it's Arbitrum because obviously Arbitrum is going to benefit big time from the Protodank sharding or Deacon upgrade in March that we talked about, March the 13th. So that's going to be bullish. And this will be in 2024. So this PulsePot will be on another chain there, and I hope it's ARB. Those will be accompanied by airdrops to the original PulsePot sacrifice sets if you're one of those. The Telegram tip bot might be shared with some of the other communities as well. And Xbase will be recurring every few weeks going forward. So there's lots more news flow coming from the team, which is pretty cool. Now, I didn't talk about BNB pot, obviously, but that's going to get a lot of cool things happening to it as well. So I'll just read out some of those. BNB pot's going to be upgraded to price calls is an audit for BNB pot. It will launch in Q1 2024, so possibly February still this month. Staking mechanism will probably be changed to be aligned with PulsePot, so improving the tokenomics on BNB pot. Jacob is open to feedback from the community on that, of course. BNB pot has a huge amount of potential because of the coming bull market, possibly a V2 for staking. This would give folks from V1 the opportunity to unstake and migrate over. I think that's a smart move. It is possible to do sports betting, but again, audits are critical, and that's possibly by March. This is also some upgrades for BNB pot on BNB chain. So you can see Jacob is building out some of the greatest DeFi on Pulsechain, and we're looking forward to it. So it was a pretty strong update. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will try and edit that part of the video and cover that later on. So the links in the video description to get into the PSD outs. I really love it. I think it's got huge potential. I hope that he brings it forward. I hope he gets that target of the $1 million. So let's bring it on. All right, Pulsechain, you got to do it in the bull market. You got to get it up and running. So if you're out there, Jacob, yeah, let's do it. Let's get this thing up and running. All right, PulsePot at the moment, $6.10, looking like a boss. Imagine what PUSD algo, what the algo coin would be looking like, along with the Flex token. It's going to be amazing. All right, that's going to bring us into Hex, of course. Before we do that, though, let's catch up on the chat. There we're at 51 minutes in the live stream, so we're doing pretty good on the timing. Let's get back into some of the comments here, as I just did a huge section on Jacob's ecosystem. And a big shout out to Archie, who provided us all that summary from the Twitter space. I appreciate it big time. He's one of our awesome moderators. Let's see. So if you guys don't think there's a lot of DeFi in Pulsechain, that's just one ecosystem, dude. That's just one developer's ecosystem. And apparently they've got more ideas coming in the future. They will not be holding back for multiple years. They're going to be building on Pulsechain. So it's going to be absolutely incredible. Let's see who else has jumped in here. Just trying to catch up where I was in the chat here. I think I got up to there. Got up to Mardi Gras. We got European Whale says, I forgot about TYZZ. Yeah, I think a lot of people probably did. But man, it looks pretty amazing based on the last time I saw it. So let's see how it turns out. It's going to be pretty awesome. It's basically a DeFi approach to CeFi. It's kind of the idea there around TYZZ. So we're looking forward to it. It's going to take on Binance in some way. Christian says, what's good? Oink, oink. Good to see you, Christian. So we can sell those OG NFTs. You can, Christian. You can put them up there. Apparently, there could be some buyers for those. E. Anderson in the house there. LFG. Good to see you, E. Anderson. Welcome. Crypto Econodino. Yo. Good to see you. Hex Token channel member as well. European Whale says, when TRH V5. Well, you saw that. It's down further down the line this year. So April is looking for a V4. And, of course, that's a huge following on that. Before we had the big price rally, apparently the TRH was doing about 15% of the transactions on Pulsechain. So it was a pretty big GameFi, super successful, and the price showed it, right? The price was up to the right. The Charity says, dang, I've been really late lately. You have been, Charity, but you're here now. Pulsechain Alt says, how long is PUSD ALGO Sac going for? We don't know. It's kind of indefinite. They're kind of heading towards that million. I'm not sure what other activities he will be doing. But like I said, that's kind of the order there. It's going to be BNB PulsePot, a TYCZ launch, and then V4. That's in March, V4 in April. And of course, PUSD Algo is open-ended, trying to get to that million. Now, I'm not sure what other mechanisms he's going to try and get to that million. Probably maybe big influencers, maybe, I don't know. And of course, you get out there and spread the word with your own referral code as well. But of course, if you want to get 90%, that's links in the video description. All right, what else there? Morning all. If you guys, that's the third comment on the Trump token. So if you guys are going to spam this chat here, you will be banned. And if I see any more of that, because I see you guys, I know your little tricks that you try to do. We've seen it all before, right? Andrew Reynolds in the house there. Morning all. No rate cut till June or later. Woohoo! Bullish. Yeah. It looks like it. Ivor in the house there. Yo. Good to see Ivor as well. Big shout out. And of course, Sandy Beach crushing it there too. All right, so let's see if we got the daily results out for Hex. No, we haven't got yet, but we've got yesterday's, so we'll go into that. Bam. That's our final topic of the day. Hex at the moment. So if you haven't checked out hex.com, you can buy Hex on Ethereum or Pulsechain, and of course get heaps of more Hex. That's pretty much it. Get your T-share miners and mine more Hex. So the results for today, well, we haven't got them out yet because we're waiting for day 1534. But we've got yesterday's results, and we had 6.85 yesterday, and the price was up 8.5%. So we've had 4 green days in the chart there. So you're getting paid more Hex, and you're getting paid and the price is higher. So you're winning on both counts. We had a jump in the share rate yesterday of 16.4. What else is interesting there? Oh, T-shares up massive yesterday, 83,000. That is ginormous jump in T-shares. Back at 9,586,000 T-shares. That's massive. Not sure what was it the Hex Gold Whale with those 42, was it 41 days, 45 days? I think he did 45 days T-shares, so that's got to be the Hex Gold Whale there. What else? We had some good penalties lately, over 1 million, so nice rewards there for the Hex T-share miners and so forth. So down 12 of the miners, 118,927. So yeah, Hex Gold Whale must have been, I did see that the other day. Waiting for day 1534, of course, on Pulsechain. We got 6.9, so even better result on Pulsechain, and with a slight increase here for day 1533. Now, we're waiting for day 1534, right? So that's just closed. So I'm just going through some of these as well. Yeah, 99, almost 100,000 T-shares there from Hex Gold Whale there. Those 245 they did 45 days, I think, on Pulsechain and Ethereum. And there we are, almost 9,673,000. Now that should have an impact on the share rate in the future when it comes out. So Hexy Crispy Man on HexFi covers a lot of that technical detail. You can follow him on YouTube. 4.2 million penalties the other day. That was pretty nice. 67 million payout. Looking pretty good. Good strong growth number. Liquid holders on Pulsechain up 62 again. But miners have been down on Pulsechain, down 44. 124,703, which is about 5,000 more than on the old Ethereum chain. So that's pretty much it on that. I don't know if we've got the results out there. No, still not out. We're waiting for the latest results. They'll probably be out in, just after the live stream. Maybe we'll cover them tomorrow. I've been trying to cover them today, but the last week has been a bit hard for some reason because I've been doing shorter shows slightly and things like that. But that is the Hex Daily Stats. We'll catch up with it tomorrow. All right, looking good. Let's go to Pulsechain one more time. And let's see how Pulsechain is doing. We've got Pulsex at the moment, quadruple 05749, 8% down on the 24 hours. We've got PHEX there, down 5.47% there at 1.764 cents there. We've got Pulse at the moment is at quadruple 01427, down 4%. And EHEX there at 1 cent, exactly down 6%. Pretty amazing. Incentive token, $3.14, and that is down just below 8%. So those are the leaders, the Richard Hart Golden Cryptos today. What a show it has been. Pulsechain, Hex, and Millionaires. You saw some of those price predictions. Pretty lit, right? Pretty lit. From more conservative stuff, in my view, from Ben Armstrong. Obviously, he's not a Hex Pulsechain specialist. He's coming on board, though. That's nice to see. We heard from Hexo. Obviously, he is a Pulsechain Hex specialist, and he's got even more bullish price charts. He understands a lot more of the drivers. Many of the drivers that weren't in the videos, though. Obviously, we've got the war chest. We've got the Richard Hart, the king, on the battlefield, and things are going to be fun times. So it should be good. Now, let's play out a special song. This is hot off the press yesterday. I posted this from Scott Harris. This is his second song as a tribute to Pulsechain and Hex, and it's called Hexaco. I know that Sandy will really, really love it. So we're going to play that for all you fellas and fellasses out there, as we say down under. YouTube user PulseX, absolutely looking good. Yes, Sandy Beach, I forgot. Happy Valentine's Day to our Oz and New Zealand friends. It is the 14th of February. So happy Valentine's Day if that's something that is happening to you, or you're making it happen for somebody else, or you're sharing the happiness. Very cool. Obviously, romance is a wonderful thing, and especially with you got your love of your life there. So all the best to you romantic couples out there in the big wide world. Happy Valentine's Day for today and tomorrow, because obviously up in the Northern Hemisphere, it is going to be Valentine's Day. All right, let's get into it. This is from Scott Harris, a tribute. Hex Co is the name of the song. And a big shout out to Scott for that. I really like this one too. It's got a real country feel. So big shout out to him. All right, peace out, everybody. Subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. And if you haven't joined our Discord, then use Wookie's link. There we are. Wookie's link to the Strategy Club or Discord. Get into it, folks. We'll be having another session as well this weekend. Take care. All says lies beneath. Absolutely. All right, peace out, everybody. Bye for now. Take care.
It's fun to watch Hex pumping up the charts. It's left behind all kinds of broken hearts who didn't buy the dip, who didn't DCA. And now that we're on a rip, it's hard to look away. Now I'm not the one to hand out free advice, but as for me, I wouldn't dare think twice about buying a bag, since we're still somewhat down. This rocket ship's about to break the speed of sound. You know these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. I tip my hat to everyone who minds. You're getting paid out while you're killing time. It makes room for a nice vacation to the beach, perhaps a celebration now that you are rich. Ha ha! Ignore the haters who all called you crazy. You studied hard while they were being lazy. Now you're packing bags, about to take a ride up on that rocket ship, mooned up and starry-eyed. I feel these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. Now that we're summer bound and the sun is bright, I see that it's not round but rather has 6 sides. It's a work of art that's written into code, designed by Richard Hart to make our bags explode. You know these wheels are starting to roll. Best to sit back and just enjoy the show, 'cause we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco. Yeah, we're about to ride that train into the heart of Hexaco.